All right, hello, welcome back to the Binge Boys podcast. This week, we're here to talk to you guys about the hit Netflix series that just dropped, and we're already on it. Can you believe it? The Witcher Season 2, count it again, 2. But before we get into The Witcher Season 2, we must introduce ourselves. And with you this week, my name is Enrique.
My name is Eli.
And my name is Tristan.
So guys, Witcher Season 2, big fans of Season 1. We didn't do this on the podcast, I don't believe. But we all watched it on our own.
Yes.
Correct.
Some of us even rewatched it for this. And by some of us, I mean everyone but me.
Yes, exactly.
So, if I'm incorrect this review, just know it's my fault. They're correct.
Yeah, I was going to say that's still somewhat fresh in my mind, so.
Agreed.
All right. So, let's just start it off with what's our opinions of this one. Let's start off with a big one. Better than Season 1 or no?
I didn't think so.
There's some aspects, but overall, no.
I don't think so either.
Season 1 was just, I don't know, it was a classic to me, man. I don't know. It just, like, there was just so much, like, lighthearted, like, I don't know. It's just all original for me because that was the first kind of content I got. So now being more attuned to stuff, you know, it's not as cool the second time.
I mean, I can tell you the exact reason why I prefer Season 1 over Season 2.
Let's hear.
I could tell you a few reasons.
There's not enough Geralt
in Season 2?
Yeah.
Season 2.
So, going back and watching Season 1, there was not as much Geralt as I remember.
That's also pretty true, honestly.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, you know, some people prefer it. They kind of shoveled Yennefer down your throat the first season, which, you know, isn't a bad thing. She wasn't my favorite character in the first season. But there was a lot of that plotline, and then there was just as much Ciri plotline as well, so.
Well, one of the things for me is, like, the way they did it in Season 1, obviously, was differing timelines that they built up to the connection of. And so you had, like, the three kind of main characters, Ciri, Geralt, and Yennefer. Whereas in this one, they kind of focused on each of those three anyways, but it was all in the same timeline. And I didn't feel like as much happened in this season.
I'd agree.
So,
as a whole.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Not necessarily just Geralt. Not enough of Geralt. You have the main three in the first season, right? Everything revolved around either Yennefer, Ciri, or Geralt, right?
Right.
And it went back to that back and forth bouncing around timeline. This season, they introduced 2 extra plot lines that I did not care about. So now I'm splitting time between Ciri, Geralt, Yennefer, the elves, and then the non-elves.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
right?
Yeah, the Nilfgaard, yeah.
That killed me. I don't like political dramas.
I don't either.
I don't either. I was literally thinking the same thing as I'm watching this, going, why is it so political now?
100%.
Which it would have been fine, because I thought about the same thing you guys said. You know, it converged at the end, right? They're waiting for the convergence till next season.
Yes.
So instead, we get this little goo goo gaga demon at the end, instead of getting the big war like we were supposed to get or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my issue comes in and why I like Season 1 better. But they're both good, by far. They're both good seasons, right?
Oh, they're very good.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think either of these suck. Now,
no.
I also would like to preface this by saying, we don't play the games.
Yes.
Haven't read the books. If there's some other foreign media, like where they come out and we didn't see it either. This is our first exposure, right? Now, if you want to roast us and say, you guys don't know the source material, because we gave Cowboy Bebop shit a couple weeks ago, by all means, come and give us some flack.
Yes, 100%. I have a few notes of that I was going to mention. Literally, yeah, I've played a little bit of The Witcher 3. None of us have read the books. Like, this is kind of our first exposure to it. Most of the complaints I have seen about Season 1 or 2 is mostly people from the books or sometimes even the games that are just upset that the source material wasn't the same, which is going to happen, you know, and I don't blame them for that, but that's why I'm going to enjoy it more than if I had read it before.
That doesn't mean we won't read the books eventually.
Oh, no.
I can kind of read, so I might.
I was taught at one point.
So, this season, I thought this season started off actually really strong with the first episode.
Yes.
Which actually weirded me out, because we get Geralt doing Geralt things, right? Going around, killing demons, hunting people, the family business. Oh, sorry, that's our other reviews. But he does things, he just does, it's a one story of him hunting a monster, right?
Yep.
Great twist at the end, by the way, with he was a rapist instead of a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was genuinely awestruck with that.
Yes.
And so I feel like it started at a high, stayed there a little bit, and then just went downward for me.
That's fair. That first episode, from what I'm hearing, because like I said to you guys, I looked around a lot, seeing what other people thought of the season. Apparently, that first episode like followed the books to like a T. Like that first episode apparently was just super well written and just was perfect. And then a lot of people had issues with it later that it kind of went off in its own direction. But apparently that first episode was like perfect and well done. So if I'm wrong, correct me, people that have actually read the books, but that's what I'm hearing. So
yes. So
no, that's cool.
That makes sense then. So, they're working on some pretty good source material because those books sold gangbusters.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then we get a classic medieval titty episode as normal kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of body horror, which I don't enjoy. So
Yeah.
people
Are you talking about the
horror,
end of the episode?
Yes. With the tree growing out of him.
That. Oh, sorry. You talking about.
We're already going there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we just, overview things.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was saying, I'm still kind of touching on things in the beginning. Obviously this is bound to happen, but Ciri looked completely different. I know she
got so much older.
I know it's a 3-year difference almost. Because they recorded, I think, when she was just turned like 17 or something. And now she's 20. So,
question.
That's crazy to me. What?
Just to double check that I'm not a total idiot. She was 12 when Cintra fell, correct?
Honestly, dude, I don't remember.
I'm pretty certain she was like 12 when Cintra fell.
See, and the thing was, like, she looked 12, like in that first season.
What I'm
like,
saying.
They did a really good job, and then just all of a sudden, and that's the thing too, is because it's
you can't help it that much at this point.
No, yeah,
COVID fucked that up a lot.
Oh, 100%. People are gonna grow up. Like, I mean, that's just gonna happen. And with some things, it actually went to their benefit in this season, but that was not one of them. Because I mean, it was just kind of weird seeing like one little jump from one scene to another, and now she's 3 years aged up. Her
and one other character that happened to.
Yeah, Black Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They're the only two young characters that have any importance.
And again, with maturity and stuff, that's bound to happen. So I mean, I don't blame the actors or the writers or anything. I mean, COVID messes everything up. But my thing was just playing some of the Witcher 3. She looks a lot like how I guess my visual representation of her looks like, and I think she really evolved into that character, which I thought was cool.
Well, that's good.
I really did like Ciri more this season. I feel like the first season, Ciri was just kind of damsel in distress character. Mm-hmm. They gave her a little bit more to where she's the suicidal, I gotta be the hero character. Fun. That's a fun little trope, But I think my issue became that some of the things that are having her prove herself in were a little silly. Like that whole obstacle course thing.
Yep.
I was like, so y'all are hyped because she's playing Wipeout now.
Yeah, that's facts.
I mean, she didn't really kill anything. I thought she should have got more points for what she did later with Geralt in the hunting thing, the dragon type thing they were later.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously people weren't there for that, so.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, I like that scene, but yeah, I 100% get what you're saying.
The only issue, I mean, besides the fact that some of these characters looked older than I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be, I think at the oldest, by the time we hit episode 1 of this season, I think like the oldest Ciri could be is like 14. The problem is it's a 20-year-old playing a 14-year-old. So that's I don't blame him for that. I'm not upset about that. What I was upset about is that I think there was one particular scene, and I was scared that they were gonna take that in a direction the entire season. Thankfully, they didn't. I was very worried about that because I was going to be pissed about it. There was no need for it, and I was not going to enjoy it. You guys might know what scene I'm talking about.
No, just say it.
I was saying for it.
So it's when they got to Homeboy's house, and he was like, "Would you like to go?" Or he was like, "Would you like to bathe?" And she was like, "Yes." And then they like gave her a bathtub, and then they like show her like in the bathtub, getting out of the bathtub, and I'm like, "Please don't."
That's probably the most tame scene you picked, to be honest, because I thought when they got to the Witcher like homestead, the two dudes who kept harassing her, I genuinely thought that was going to go somewhere much worse.
Yeah,
I think Game of Thrones kind of ruined that whole medieval genre
100%.
because you assume the worst will happen.
And I did, but that was part of like when they started with that scene in episode 1 where they're like teasing that kind of thing. I'm like, please don't. She's a child.
Yeah.
No,
I
like they should not be doing this.
Right.
And so that I had a similar worry when she got to the Witcher place, and so I feel your concern there with the two other dudes who were a little bit sketchy for a minute there.
So another female character that I had problems with this season, just taking it off of the Ciri talk to another main character, Yennefer. Did any of you guys feel like she had a quick and almost too quick change of heart in this season?
She was kind of all over the place
because
she was.
First season, she's very much like, I do what I want for me kind of thing. And then she became, I'm a good person, good guy thing within an instant of this season, I felt like.
I mean, it kind of takes off from the end of the last season, though. I will give it that, because she worked to protect, I guess, the world from Nilfgaard invading everything. So, I don't know. I get what they were going for, but yeah, she does change a lot as a character very quickly.
I understand having a character with internal conflict, but I feel like they didn't express the internal conflict outwardly very well. That's my main issue.
Overall, you're right. They didn't do a great job of that.
And I don't blame the actress for that. I just feel like we didn't get enough of actual Yennefer expressing herself, but she doesn't necessarily express herself vocally to characters. So I'm not sure where they would even include scenes like that at.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, honestly, you don't really get that from many of the characters, to be honest.
Maybe more of the dreams that Yennefer had, because I thought those were pretty good of explaining how she felt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like Ciri's really the only one that we get some sort of, like, emotion from. I mean, Geralt, you're not going to get any emotion from. Like, that's just, I don't know.
I thought we actually got a lot this season from him.
I was going to say something. It seemed like we actually got something from him.
You're not going to, let me rephrase. You're not going to get his...
growth?
I don't know. No, I feel like we got his love interests and that kind of thing. I don't know that we really got his, like, I don't know how he's feeling, because we got more of like, oh, I have to protect Ciri. Oh, I'm in love with Yennefer, but we didn't really get like the how is Geralt feeling, Well,
that's I thought that's what they were going for, is that that's what he is now, is that he is the father to Ciri now.
Yeah, and
because as a Witcher, you're not supposed to be anything. But now he has something, so he's not like the other Witchers now. And you even see that as a point of contention with Vesemir in this season.
I was going to say, just going back to last season, I don't know that he ever really was like the other Witchers, because, I mean, I don't know. For example, let's go back to the dragon episode in season 1, where he's trained to save people and not just to kill. I think that quote came up multiple times. And some of the Witchers, and obviously other, breeds of mankind, whatever, obviously just kill just to kill. So Geralt's one of those few that actually just is there to save people, not just to make some quick money.
Even though he do be making quick money.
Yeah, but I mean, even he doesn't do it for the fame though. Because another example, going back to season 1, when they're at whatever the main place that got attacked, Central, whatever it was, I forgot it.
Well, there was Sintra that got burned down.
Yes, when they were at Sintra, when Ciri's parents were getting married, blah blah blah. This was right after Toss a Coin to Your Witcher came out. Everybody across the land was listening to it. They're like, "Oh yeah, tell us about all these stories that you slayed all the elves." He's like, "Actually, I didn't. They let me go. Like I didn't do shit. Like I got lucky, basically." So he's not really doing it for fame. He's just he's being honest about it. So,
but I mean, I think that's more of like what Vesemir kind of Witcher style, because you see like him and Vesemir are super close. They have someone that's similar mentality when it comes to being Witcher, but some of the other dudes be a little bit different when it comes to that shit.
Oh, for sure.
So I thought that one of my biggest issues is I felt like this witch that they talked about, like the ultimate witch or whatever.
Oh, the Deathless Witch? At the end.
Yes, Deathless Witch, thank you. I felt like she wasn't the threat that they thought we felt she was.
Agreed.
Because a lot of the build this season was building towards the elven stuff, not so much the Deathless Witch. The Deathless Witch was coming up, but really, it was more about Ciri getting used by the elves than I feel like the Deathless Witch was, you know? And it just felt like they were building to something that they were going to pay off next season, but they needed something climactic for the end of this one.
Yes.
So they went Deathless Witch, but it didn't hit like it was supposed to, so now I felt empty at the end. I think the last episode of the season is the one I have the least amount of notes on.
Oh, really? I actually have a decent amount.
Similar.
But it's also because, like I said, I've played a little bit of the game, so I kind of know where they're going with this. But what was I going to say? Oh, I feel like this season is very good for just kind of laying the boundary, or not, laying down a foundation for the further seasons, you know? And I think the season 1 was kind of some background, like where are these characters coming from, you know, emotional attachment to these characters. And then season 2 is
world building.
Yeah. And some world building. And then season 2 is more, hey, we're
right
thing turning into those what they call the wild hunt at the end of the last episode. That's going to be a huge thing in season 3. I hope, at least. It should be.
Did she turn into the Wild Hunt, or did they just show for a second? Because I know they said she transferred to a different dimension. She saw the Wild Hunt.
Well, because you guys saw this one of the scene with the firefuck at the end, because there was the one witch, the mage or whatever that he was working with, and he gave her the
blood,
the blood, whatever, and she tried to use it or something, and she like died.
Well,
right?
no, she just
but
got
then
her
in
face
that
burned,
last scene, it was her, but she had the green eyes of the Deathless Witch.
Okay. I'm not following, to be honest, because
I don't know where this comes into what we were saying.
Well, because you were talking about the Deathless Witch and the whatever.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They were just showing. So the Wild Hunt's trying to recruit Ciri into the Wild Hunt.
Right.
With whatever the Wild Hunt is, as I don't know. I know the third game is titled Wild Hunt. So obviously they're big players in this world. But we don't really know. Because they mentioned them once earlier in the season saying, oh yeah, we saw the motherfuckers on their skeletons with their heads. You know, their helmets. And they're like, don't fuck with them.
Yeah. That's, honestly, dude, yeah, like I said, I've played a little bit of that game, and all I've gotten is, hey, they're just trying to find Ciri. They're chasing her down. That's pretty much as far as I've gotten. So I know.
They did mention that Ciri can jump through like dimensions or something like that.
We'll see how that goes, dude. I don't know how to feel about that one. I know a lot of hardcore Witcher fans agree with me on that one. I don't know how to feel about that.
We'll find out next season. There's a lot of this season.
I would say they haven't really let me down too much yet, so I gotta just because I've had negative opinions going into seasons, and then they've kind of just brought that up. One example of that is Vesemir. I was pissed when they named the actor. I was like, oh, you know, coming from the movie, being a badass. I actually wasn't disappointed with his actor at all.
No, he did fine.
Oh, I thought he did a good job.
Good,
yeah, I was like, instantly, I was like, oh, dude, that's just Qui-Gon, bro. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, I couldn't expect. I don't know if I really expected much when Vesemir came in, and I was like, sick, dude, it's Vesemir. And then I was like, wait a second. I was like, this is Vesemir after Geralt's been around forever, whereas in the movie it was Vesemir before any of that. It was young Vesemir. So I had to quell some excitement, you know. I was like, this is not going to be the same fantastic Vesemir that we got in the movie. And in the end, it ended up being plenty okay. I was very happy with how they did Vesemir.
He's one of the better newer characters introduced in season 2, even though he had the Bridger movie. It was a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like one that was Colonel Mustang, but I don't know what his real name is. The fireman.
Firefuck?
Yeah, Colonel Mustang. I saw him snapping his fingers. I was like, please tell me he does fire with his snaps, and he did. So I was very happy. But he was like whatever. Like he was blasé. Like he really only got like 2 episodes to do anything. That's another one. I feel like it's a season 3 thing, which is like I feel like that's a lot of what I'm going to say this season is. Oh, it's probably a future thing, which isn't bad. But I think when we waited 2 years for this to get this, which is a Bridger season, until who knows how long till we get season 3, I'm
Yep.
like, damn, bro. At least could have gave us like 12 episodes or 16. Not really for recording purposes, but for entertainment wise, they could have used some more episodes.
Right, yeah.
And it's just like, whatever. I felt like, any of you guys feel like Jaskier didn't have his fire of music this season?
I did not feel like that, no. To be honest.
I didn't either.
Dude, as soon as the dude started singing, I was on it, man. Like I told you guys, dude, I've had that new music on repeat anyway, so.
I did like the one song where he was talking about, like, you know, fuck you, fuck your ex or whatever. That one he was singing it with the rats.
In
that one
the
was kinda
jail?
fire.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that one was
pretty
cool.
fire.
But the rest
fire.
of them, I was just like, I was okay.
You didn't
but
like
I did
Burn,
like,
Butcher, Burn?
Dude, that one slaps, dude.
I might
That
have
one's
to
a
hear it again,
hitter.
but it didn't stick out.
Oh,
There was
my
no
gosh.
toss a coin to your Witcher.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Is
that
no,
was-
nothing can compete
No,
with Toss a Coin
no.
to your Witcher. Okay?
No way.
But Burn, Butcher, Burn, that was fire, bro. When he was
thank
singing
you.
it in the pub, I
Yes,
was,
dude.
oh my gosh,
That-
dude. The
and-
crowd was lit. I was lit.
Same, bro.
The
And
girl
then
took his hat. I was like, hey.
Dude, and then on the end credits, it played again, dude. I was hyped,
Yep.
man. But the best part of that, and probably my favorite part of the show, is when Yennefer comes in, and he's like, "Oh no, that song could be about anybody. It could be about anybody. Could be about anybody." I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I was losing my shit, dude.
Dude, but like the way they did it in the show when he was singing it, and then he got to the last little end piece and he sat down and he was
Oh yeah,
in his feels about it. I was like, yo,
dude.
that's,
Dude was just
that's
out
good.
out of breath with hatred.
It was so good. Oh, that was well done.
I could have used more of him this season, man.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
couldn't we all,
absolutely.
man?
Imagine
mean-
him at the Witcher compound. Like, that just sounds like some good shenanigans.
Just
to me.
lighten up the crowd. I can see it, dude. That's what I
mean-
need in season 3.
Yeah, he didn't show up until episode 4.
I know. And see,
We're halfway through the show and he shows
know.
up finally.
that's the thing too. I was like, okay, see, episode 1 was pretty good, and then I'm like, episode 4 comes along, and I'm like, dude, I am missing something, you know? And I was like, Yaskier comes on. I was like, that's right. That's what I'm missing. And then the whole, dude, I need a mini series with him and Yennefer though. Like that dynamic is awesome. Just the pure hatred. that he
Yes,
has
the
for her.
two of them together is
It's
gold.
just chaos, dude. But
What
I
you guys
love
were
it.
mentioning with like Yennefer, like her vulnerability in a sense, I thought it was gonna come more. Like some of it did, but I thought more of it was gonna come with Yaskier.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's how they do those kinds of things. I feel like in a lot of shows, but I definitely thought it was gonna happen.
Can't let your guard down around Yaskier. He might end up hitting and get killed by Geralt.
Dude. That's the thing, dude. That's the original thing that he needed Geralt for. Is he was banging too many people's wives, daughters, in the kingdom.
That's what I'm
So
saying, bro. You might end up be hitting, right?
he needed Geralt for a bodyguard. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
I know. Here's the thing. Maybe it's just me being a little bit. I felt like there was some tension at some points. I was like,
bro. There was
Yaskier about to go home,
there
bro.
was definitely some tension between Geralt and what's his name, Istrid, the black dude.
Istrid, stop.
Dude, that was crazy, dude. He's like, yeah, I love her too. Dude, they gotta fight just to fight, bro. Like, I don't even care. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like the Geralt Yennefer plotline anyway. Like, whatever, you know, they can
you
do
better
their own
watch
thing.
out, son. That's some dangerous words you be talking.
That's a
about.
good
Yet.
one, dude.
I'm not ready for it yet. Like, I'm cool with it. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'm not like.
I ain't gonna
it's
say that
take
about
it or leave
Ciri's
it.
mom like that.
Oh my god.
She got a little bit of mother-daughter time towards the end of the season.
Yeah, not in a good way though.
No, she tried to kill her.
Yeah.
I did like that they had a supernatural meta moment with Yaskier, with him and the dude that was guarding off the ship, and he was like, "Yeah, man, your fucking songs don't be making no sense, bro.
Right.
Multiple timelines. I couldn't understand it till like the 4th verse. And I was like, oh my god."
Yeah, dude. He's like, bro, I saw that dragon twist coming. I was like, hey, me too, bro.
I love meta moments, man. Keep them
Same.
coming. Keep them coming.
That shit was so funny. Dude, he turns around, he's like, I won't say it. Nah, I'm gonna say it. He's like, fuck you.
There's no better character to do the meta moments with either than Yaskier. Like,
No,
Exactly.
dude.
That's the perfect person.
I love Geralt, dude. But, dude, Yaskier's such a good
I
character,
need
man.
more
Yasker's
of them
awesome.
together again.
I
That's
know. Their
I
dynamic
know.
is so good, dude. Just
Imagine
had, like-
him, Ciri, and Geralt.
Oh,
like
I
that
know.
little combination of Ciri and
Yeah.
Geralt tag teaming father daughter, just making fun of Yaskier, him getting pissed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We
that's
had
lovely.
like 3 minutes of Yaskier and Geralt together this
I
whole season,
know.
and it was golden,
dude.
the entire time.
The thing, dude, even when he broke him out of jail, you know, and he's like, oh, Geralt, he's like, fucking give him a hug, dude. I almost shed some grown man tears right there, dude. I was like, damn, you know,
like he don't care. He came back for him.
So before we kind of start, closing it out, I gotta ask one big one. How'd you guys feel about that father-daughter dynamic with Ciri and Geralt? Were you in
I
it?
loved it.
Yes, I love it too.
So that's one of my favorite tropes in anything, right? Like Last of Us does it, and I love it. I loved it in Last of Us. I love it in this. If you can perform a good, like, surrogate father to, someone who lost theirs or doesn't have anyone, it always is so lovely.
Agreed.
And this did not fail because I really liked it. Ciri loved Geralt. She kept trying to be like, I want to be like you. And Geralt's like, no, you don't. Please. The best you can do for me is not be like me.
Exactly. He cares.
So good.
Like he went from, I mean, that's some character development from Geralt though. He went from legitimately being like, I don't want anything to do with this child surprise. I'm not going to worry about it. And he has gone from that to, I love this child and I will do anything to protect her.
Papa Geralt, bro.
Speaking of Papa Geralt, he's not just a papa to Ciri, he's a papa to his horse. And oh man, when Roach,
how they gonna do the Roach like that?
Oh my gosh!
And then I looked some stuff up. He names every goddamn horse he has Roach. I'm like, fuck.
Cared more than he did.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that doesn't hit me as hard as it would have then, because I was like, damn, bro. So I looked it up. I was like, damn, Roach died in season 2, and they're like, oh no, he named all his horses Roach. I'm like, man, fuck.
You went snooping and you got your feelings hurt.
Yeah,
Roach
dude,
the third.
That's what they said, dude. They're like, yeah, season 3 we'll get Roach 2.0. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
It's not gonna be the same though.
Yeah, that's true.
Big ideas or overarching plot lines you guys want to talk about before I talk about the special little end credits?
The ending? Oh man.
I would say I just have a couple things to just kind of mention, I guess, about the
Quick
series in general. Yeah. So I think the action was amazing this season.
Okay, I felt the opposite actually.
I wanted more.
Dude,
I felt like we didn't get a scene that was like that first episode from The
That
Witcher.
was really cool, but I feel like when he had Ciri kind of play bait with that dragon, the Chernobyl, whatever it was, I forgot.
Chernobyl.
Chernobog, that's what his name is.
Chickapee,
Yeah. Anyway, when she was playing
Togepi.
bait and he just jumps out of nowhere, just dude, that shit was awesome, dude. I was just pooping myself.
There was one, I'll give you one that was close, but I didn't like it as much because it had too many cuts and special effects. Was a season 6 fight scene at that church sanctuary thing.
Yep,
where he punched the motherfucker's tooth out slow motion, stabbed it.
Yeah,
the one moment,
cool.
see that didn't even get me. The moment that got me is when he kicked the dude in the air and then he landed head first on the sword.
Oh
I
my
literally
God.
got him and said, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, dude. There was a couple of these. I just got out of my seat. I was like, "What?"
More of that, less of like. I like the beast fights. Don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna do the beast fights, at least make them look kind of technically impressive, which I know is difficult because CGI and all that. But those human to human fights are always good. I just need a little bit more of it.
Agreed.
I would say it is definitely tough. I credit where it's due, though. I do really like the CGI in this show. I think with the beast, like maybe not so much with the hand-to-hand combat scenes, but the beast designs in general look really good. And it's not just with like the beast; it's also with the characters in general. Like in episode 1. The boar dude be looking. He looked like how he would look. Like there was no weird shit about it.
Look, man.
Okay, he reminded. I just
look kind of cursed at some points.
He made me like he literally just looked like Beast from Beauty and the Beast. All he did was copy and paste from the Beauty and the Beast live action.
Dude,
My other thing.
I was kind of upset. I forgot their name, so I mean I'm sorry. But yeah, I saw that one of the actors I liked in Game of Thrones was supposed to be. In episode 1 and like in season 2 in general. I'm like, cool. And then he was just the boar dude. So we didn't really get shit from him. I'm like, damn, all right. Sounds good.
Relating to the graphics and the CGI, overall I like it too with the beasts and stuff. There were a couple scenes in this season where I was like, that is one of the worst green screens I've ever seen in my life.
There was a couple of those.
There was a couple of those where I went, really, dude? You got all this money, Netflix, and you're gonna give me that?
I saw that a couple times as well.
It was mostly in the last couple episodes.
They didn't go over it very much towards the end.
Yeah.
They must have been hurrying at the end. They were like, man, they've been waiting forever. We got to get this out. Who cares about the graphics?
Going off of the quick points, I definitely thought they were going to get Jimmy Butler back after the octopus ate him in the sewer. Jimmy Butler did not come back. I feel like he's still alive somehow, but I don't know why they'd reintroduce him.
Sign language Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, sign language Jimmy Butler. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, there's no way. Like, they built him up like as the deaf dude. Like, there's no way they kill him off. And then they killed him off. I was like, oh, he'll come back next episode. And then I forgot by then. And then I went back to my notes and kind of re-looked him over. I was like, oh, that's right. I was like, I don't know why they'd kind of introduce him again, though. So
I'm wondering if he's going to... I mean, it's a possibility, though. Maybe he's somehow related to Dara. I don't know.
Damn.
That's my only thought about it.
That's tough.
Because they brought him back and made him useless.
Dara?
Yeah.
He's not useless.
All he did was just give some information to this stupid mage who I also didn't like. That was another part that I did not care for as much when they just kept going back to Aretuza.
Yeah.
I was like, don't care. Move along, please. Give me something else.
I 100% agree. But, I mean, they kind of established him as... I don't know. At first he was the spy, and then now he's one of the only elves with an actual story, which I think is going to come into a huge part in the next season when we get the political drama. I'm sorry.
Okay, just to double check, you guys knew the baby was going to die, right?
I did not know.
It, to be honest.
I didn't really care. But
okay.
Yeah, R.I.P. the baby.
I could just tell when they were starting to go with the political stuff. I knew that there was... I literally wrote down that elven blood will be shed. I was not 100% sure right away that it would be the baby, but then I was like, yeah, it's going to be the baby. They're going to kill the baby. They're going to start a war. It's going to be stupid.
Yeah, I was right. That's a good call. Yeah. I mean, most of those political, like, dramatic narratives are very predictable. But yeah, good on you for catching that. I did not catch that. So
yeah, I don't know. And then they did whatever with the Black Knight this season. That dude, I mean, he was kind of important to the story, but like I also didn't think he did that much. You know, he was a prisoner. Then Yennefer helped him escape. And then he just kind of didn't do much.
Kahir, whatever his name was. Yeah. No, apparently he's okay, again, I was reading up on people's reviews and shit. Apparently he's a really, really good character in the books. So I'm assuming some kind of a face turn, some kind of a Zuko arc.
It looked like it was going to be a face turn for a little bit, kind of.
Yeah. Apparently, and I didn't mind his character. I thought he was pretty good.
And he's done very well. I just didn't think he did it a ton, you know?
That's fair. Yeah, no, I'm not opposed to his character. I think he has potential to do pretty good.
That's fair.
Anyway, let's Reek, you want to get on to that last episode?
Do you want to give ratings first, since this is kind of separate? Well, I mean, we already talked about last episode. I meant the last segment, the post-credit stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I guess I have more than I was saying. Another Yaskier moment is. When they're that last fight scene and he just comes out and he's like, Geralt, oh shit, you're doing something. I'm sorry. That was awesome, dude. That was so funny. I was like, yep, that's what I'm waiting for, man. That's what I've been waiting for.
That's my dude.
And then that last scene, I guess to my last point, that last scene where Ciri's dad is gonna be the villain is very weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was.
I don't know how to feel about that. I'm going to need some backstory on what the fuck happened and where we got to this point. But it seems confused. Like kind of a cop-out. We'll see.
A cop-out?
Yeah, just kind of like I don't know. Just kind of a cop-out to make more seasons is what I'm saying. Just like, because, I mean, it obviously brings up more story and it obviously kind of reiterates the fact that they need to make more stuff. But I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know where that plot line's going to go.
Here's the other thing. Maybe we're all just like, a bunch of smooth brain dudes. Because it mentioned where in season 1 it mentioned where he was like the heir of or the next king of when he came in, and he was like the porcupine dude, and he was talking about that. And it mentioned what kingdom he was from, and I don't remember.
No, I don't
because
remember.
I'm a dummy head, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." And I'm like, "Okay, then it don't matter."
Well,
I'm gonna have to go
be
rewatch
fair,
that particular part, but it might have been Nilfgaard.
It wasn't. I can tell you right now. I know it wasn't, because they had the Nilfgaard king come in and they made fun of him.
Ah, that's right.
That's what started everything, is because they kind of just was like, "Oh, Nilfgaard sucks," and then Nilfgaard destroyed him. But no, he was from somewhere. I don't remember. Otterland. I don't know. Or Porcupine Land. I don't know. But the thing is, they never said he was dead. I don't think. I could be wrong. But mostly they were like, "Oh yeah, he washed away." Like the last time they saw her parents were out at sea. Blah blah blah.
Oh,
So
they did the Frozen 2 thing.
I don't know what the Frozen 2 thing is, if I'm going to be honest. But, I mean, her mom could be alive, too. Who knows?
That's what I thought.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
See. We like to give ratings before we jump into that little teaser we got there.
Yeah. I'm gonna start with an 8.5. I think that's a pretty solid score for this season.
You know, that is a pretty solid score.
I'm going to go 7.5.
Oh.
I liked it. I did like it. I just felt like there was a little bit of sauce missing.
All right.
Okay, that's fair. I was honestly going to give this season a 9.
Hey, all right.
Super strong.
What would you give the first season then?
A 9.5.
Okay, same. That's what I would give it as well.
Yeah, I don't think it was as good as the first season, but that's not saying much because season 1 was just phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Season 2 was good. I don't think it was on the same level. I think there was more stuff in this season that was pointless to me. Maybe it'll pay off in the end, but I still thought it was very good overall, even though I needed more Jaskier.
Yes.
I always need more Jaskier.